YouTube and fellow Pokemon enthusiasts. Mama Kangaskhan here, and so this video is the second episode to tips and tricks, really. I mean, I'm gonna be looking down probably a few times because I have a list in front of me. I wanted to make sure I covered everything, so I did write it down to organize it a little better. So the first thing that I touched base on in the first video was a stand for your phone or your camera, so this way, you know, you can do things free-handedly while your camera or phone is stationary. Going right along with that is definitely lighting, which I had put in the last video, which I will link up here somewhere. Having a good light really makes the difference. I mean, I can literally show you guys an example really quick. So this is the light directly on me, which usually I have the light directly above my phone because it just makes such a difference in quality. But when I move the light, I mean, I have other lights going on right now, so you can kind of see still what's going on, but if I turned off the other lights, it'd just be darkness, or this might not even be that clear, this part that I filmed. So putting the light back where it was, oh, it's hot. Lighting actually really does make the difference in video quality. I mean, it sounds crazy, but until you do it and see the difference, it's unbelievable. The next thing that I want to go into a little more, I know I also mentioned this in the last video, is planning. So it may sound a little crazy, but without a budget, I've seen people burn out really quick. We're not made of money, all of us. We're not big YouTube stars, okay? We're little channels that are starting out, and without a budget, especially when you're doing like toy openings or Pokemon card openings or whatever it may be, you need a budget. You know, you don't want to be trying to spend as much as you can to keep up with everybody and all this and stuff like that. No, we all make different amounts of money and we all have different budgets. We got bills to pay, so a budget definitely helps. Picking stuff up on clearance, you know, maybe just getting even like 1 or 2 items a week that's smaller, or, you know, save up for bigger items for like once a month or something. You know, you just need to definitely budget. So I mean, I enjoy watching everybody's videos whenever I can catch up on everybody's content, so I would love to see you guys succeed. I don't want to see anybody fail, so budgeting is a definite, you gotta do it. I mean, unless you got bottomless pockets, but yeah, who really does these days? So going into that, having an idea list, planning wise, right? Have an idea list, be creative, come up with things to make you stand out and your channel to be different. I mean, is it ever really gonna hurt? Or if you are a planner and you do plan out your videos and you have like a planner with schedule and all that and everything, there's days we go blank. None of us are perfect. So having an idea list for the back burner won't hurt. I mean, this way, if you really can't think of anything one day, you can always refer to that idea list. It's a good thing for a backup plan. I mean, at least in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's really it for planning. Filming wise, I wanted to keep this video mostly about before filming, but these are just little things to think about when you go to film. I noticed different locations or positioning your camera differently, having different angles, it really keeps the viewers interested. No one wants to see the same exact thing over and over and over again, you know? So changing things up, doing different things, doing different locations, different angles, I mean, it's fun. because then you feel like even if it's the same thing, you're kind of watching something different. So the next one would be an editor. Now, a lot of us sit there, especially in the beginning, and we're just like, no, no, no. Now, whether it may be due to we don't understand how to use the editor, or we just like to have our raw footage because we think it's cool that way. But this is why you need one, or at least learn how to use one, so in case you need one, you're not freaking out. Say you're opening cards one day, or you're doing a toy review and you're opening a package. Something happens where now you need an editor because something's got to be cut out, something's got to be sewed together, you know, things happen. There is no way to control the perfect filming environment. Okay, so having an editor and learning how to use one will never hurt you, because in that day of emergency, when you need one, you'll know how to handle it. The one that I use is called VideoPad Video Editor from NCH, but I've also heard that a lot of people use Filmora, which is pretty good. I don't know because I never used it before. And what's the other one? iMovie. I believe that's on the iPhone. Duh, iMovie. Unless somebody actually got away with that. But yeah. So definitely research. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of free ones out there. Mine is a $40 lifetime subscription. So I mean, I like it. It's a pretty simple editor. It's easy to use. I mean, you could do a lot of stuff with it. So, but I will definitely do a separate video on the editor I use to how to use it and stuff like that. But that's later on. Moving on would be, this is gonna, okay, so these two things kind of go hand in hand. I've done a lot of research on thumbnails and stuff like that, and from my understanding of the research that I did was, when it comes to thumbnails, there's two things that really attract people for some reason, which is seeing a face and bright and big lettering. So if, from my understanding, what you can do is do the iPhone test. The phone test. That's because I have an iPhone. So the phone test is pretty much you look at it on your computer, well, not your computer, your phone, that size, like how you would see it on your, you know, subscriptions, and how their thumbnails pop up, to see if it's, you know, readable or clear enough and stuff like that. Going from that to your profile, I don't know why, but it just seems to be a thing that attracts people more. Not having a profile picture or a banner and stuff like that seems to deter people. I mean, unless you're extremely social, like commenting and, you know, on IG with other POKETUBers or YouTubers. But a really good thing to think about is having a profile picture. It doesn't have to be your face. I mean, you could do something else. I mean, my face is in all of my thumbnails and stuff like that, but my profile picture and my banner has my logo and stuff like that. So, I mean, doesn't have to be your face directly, but it's something to definitely think about. Also, from there, I do, if you want somebody that actually does do profile pictures, banners, thumbnails, they do intros and outros, wow, and PNG logo, so further down the line if you want to do merchandise or anything like that, you can. You could check out on Instagram. I'll be putting their tag name around here somewhere. That Nerdy Family. I do have prices for them as well, which I will be putting somewhere over here, or all be together. But I will read it off really quick just so you guys know. Profile pictures are $3, banners are $5, PNG logos are $4, thumbnails are $6, and intros are $7, and outros are also $7. Intros and outros, I would say, are also kind of important. I mean, it depends on you. You may care for them, you may not. I absolutely love them. I really do. Having like a quick little intro into somebody's video, get y'all like pumped up and stuff, especially if they got some really good music that you could jam to. And the outros are nice too, because it gives, instead of like running over the video and missing the ending because the two end cards pop up, the outro is there so you can finish watching the whole video, and then there is, you know, random video or most latest video or best for viewer or whatever, you know. So the outro is definitely, I mean, if you don't care for an intro, I would say the outro is way more important than the intro. I think it makes it nicer and a little smoother when transitioning from the end of the video to the end cards. So definitely I would think about that as well. And just going over tools again. So I'm gonna do, again, videos more specifically on these as well, but TubeBuddy and the YouTube Creator Studio. So TubeBuddy, okay, a lot of people know it for tags, and it's not just for tags. It's really not. Okay, I make my thumbnails for my videos through TubeBuddy on the computer. You can check your tags to see where they'll rank, so you can rank your videos better. Just so you know, you can actually look at other people's tags with TubeBuddy too to see what they're tagging their videos in. It's a little nosy and sneaky, but you know, maybe you want to see what other people are tagging in to see compared to what you tag, or maybe you want to stay away from those tags and, you know, try to tag yourself in other categories. But I mean, it's definitely very good for tagging, but it does have other little perks too. There's a lot of settings on the computer one, what is it, the internet browser extension, like for whatever one you use. There's a lot of little things. There's a lot of save options. Like if you set up your end cards a certain way, you can actually save that layout and then just apply it to your videos. Even down to what time in the video they start. They also have the same thing for cards too. If you like a certain setup that you have for cards that play throughout your video, you could save that layout and then apply it to future videos. Like I said, my favorite part is definitely the thumbnail maker. So, but that's another thing. You could go right into that and bam, you now have a thumbnail too. Another thing I use, but I specifically have this because I write also, but for my job and school and stuff like that too, is Grammarly. It's pretty much like a word correction app. It will help you not only just spell better, but punctuation, depending on the format that you're trying to go after, it can help you formulate the words and sentences more properly. I feel like that's the best way I can explain that. So what else? There was one other thing. Oh, okay, there is one other thing that I wanted to point out. So I still struggle with this issue. I know a lot of people do it because I see it in their videos, but this really doesn't apply to you when you use a camera, because a camera, you're always looking at the lens. But when you're using your phone, this is what happens. When I'm not looking at the lens and I'm looking at myself in my camera, this is what it looks like. Okay, so when I'm doing this, it looks like I'm looking far off. Now, when you opening cards and stuff like that, it's hard because yes, you're looking at the screen and you're reading the card backwards and stuff like that. You can't help that. When you're reading things like that, unless, you know, you're behind the camera and reading it forward, that can't be helped. But when you're addressing the camera and talking to subscribers and, you know, people that you want to turn to subscribers, you gotta look at the lens on your camera and stop looking at yourself on your phone. I mean, like I said, I struggle. I mean, I've been training myself more and more to just look at the lens. So, but it's definitely something that you need to know from the beginning. It is very annoying because you're just used to, even when you take pictures, actually, if you sit there and just take pictures of yourself and you look at yourself when you're taking the picture, you look like you're looking like this. Okay, when you look at the lens, you look more like you're looking into the soul of somebody. So, but yeah, that is everything I wanted to go over. If you have any questions or there is something specifically you want to see in the next episode, please just write it down in the comments below. Otherwise, that's going to be all for this episode, and Mom Kangaskhan is out.